going on, people? Welcome to Baseball Talk on Rojas Media. I am your host, Francisco Rojas. Sitting here a day after the All-Star break. It's Friday, July 16th, 2 o'clock Eastern Time. Couple of hours here. We're going to be looking at a doubleheader between the Phillies and the Marlins. Now, if you watch a lot of my videos, you know that I'm a Phillies fan, Sixers fan, but I do a lot of all MLB, all NBA. But today we're specifically talking about my Phillies. And I know a couple of weeks ago I asked the question, or not asked the question, I said they should rebuild. And I still feel that way. I want to say that. I still feel that way. I still feel like they should rebuild going forward. By me doing this video, I don't think that's going to happen. That's the reason why I'm doing this video. And asking the question, what should the Phillies do, or what do the Phillies have to do to make the playoffs? Do I think they should do this? By any means, not really. Not really. The fan in me wants to go see them win. So yeah, I hope that I'm wrong. And I hope that, by them not choosing to rebuild, that it works out in the long run, or it works out in the short term and long run. But I don't think it's going to happen. Not when you have Dave Dombrowski. You brought him in to try to win. And, them sitting here at 44-44, 3.5 games out of first place, in a crappy division, a really crappy division, really disappointing division. Everyone thought that the NL East was going to be absolutely loaded, and they're not. It's been really bad. First place Mets, 47-40. They've been solid, but they might be a second or third place team in other divisions easily. So this is a year where maybe the Phillies, pending what happens with the Mets, maybe they could make a run. Maybe they could make some sort of a run. But a lot of things have to happen. And this is what I want to get into right now. This is what's going to have to happen for the Phillies to make the playoffs. And a few things are going to have to happen. And I don't know what the chances of those things happening are, but let's just get into it. So, first thing, the offense. The offense has to be extremely good. Very good. They were fourth in the NL last year in runs scored last year. This is according to Fangraphs. Fourth in the National League in runs scored last year. This year they're sixth. So not like a huge drop-off, but for this team, I said coming into for the Phillies this season, everything would have to go right for the Phillies to even have a shot at the playoffs this year. So looking into the second half, this is what's everything has to go right, starting with the offense. They have to be top 5, at least, in the National League in runs scored, top 10, or maybe top 5 in the majors in general. JT Realmuto, he's been okay in the first half. I know that he made the All-Star team, and he was a starter. And, salute to JT, love JT. Still, I think, the best catcher in baseball. But, dealt with few injuries, I think, here and there throughout the first half, and he was solid. He was good at times, but there's times where he was bad. But they need JT Realmuto to be good in the second half, to be very good. I think in the middle of that lineup, he's hitting what, fourth? He's hitting right behind Harper. He has to be good. Has to be a good cleanup hitter. Bryce Harper has to continue to swing the bat well. And that's being overlooked. And, I know he got hit in the face with the ball this year. And I know that a lot of his home runs have been solo home runs. Literally 95% of his home runs have been solo home runs. But regardless, Bryce Harper has been very good this year, swinging the bat. And it's overlooked, I know, because of the RBIs. And, everyone says he's overrated. That's just the stigma around the league, which I don't think is true. But, regardless, Harper has been a very good bat. Didi Gregorius, hopefully he can stay healthy in the second half. He has to be what he was for the Yankees. He has to be what he was in 2020 in the shortened season, where he was like the best bat in the Phillies bench, or the Phillies lineup, excuse me. That 3, 4, and 5 right there, they have to be good. Rhys Hoskins, I know he's had a weird type of season where he's kind of changed his approach to the plate. I think he needs to continue what he's doing to a certain extent. Keep getting the extra base hits, keep hitting the ball out of the park, keep doing that. That's what the Phillies need you to do. And Alec Boehm, which is key to me, I don't think he needs to be amazing in the second half, but he at least needs to be consistently solid. He needs to be, in the first half, and I understand it, he maybe sophomore slump, he's a young hitter. They pretty much 99% of hitters go through this. But for this offense to, kind of almost, in my opinion, they have to at least carry them if they're going to have any shot at the playoffs. Boehm's going to have to be, solid throughout the second half, throughout the next couple of months. He has to be solid because he hasn't. He hasn't, man. He's been hitting well below 250. He was a 343 hitter in the shortened season. He only played 43 games, but still, he at least needs to find like the middle ground there. Maybe just shouldn't be hitting 220, but he doesn't need to hit 340. He doesn't need to be the best hitter in baseball. But find that like 270, 280, ground, and maybe the power comes with it. That's what I kind of hope with Alec Boehm. But that's what they need from the middle of their lineup, right there. And they need a leadoff hitter, man. They need Odubel. Odubel Herrera's been kind of, here and there. He's been good. Kutch had a bad start, but since that bad start, he's been swinging the bat pretty well. I wouldn't say extremely well, but he's been swinging the bat better in the last month or two than he was, in the first month and a half, even 2 months of the season. So they need Kutch. They need a leadoff hitter at the top of that lineup to kind of set the tone. And like the guys I mentioned, like Harper, Realmuto, Gregorius, Boehm are extremely key. And this offense needs to, just find a groove and really, carry them in the second half. That's what I believe. I think the offense is the number one. I know we're about to get to other things that are really important too, but it's important that this Phillies offense show up and show that 2020 wasn't a fluke in the shortened season. And maybe Harper gets extremely hot. He was extremely hot in the first half of the season. Maybe Harper shows why, at one point he was considered one of the best players in baseball. But he's still definitely a great hitter in the sport. But regardless, that offense needs to be hot. Number two, the bullpen just can't just be Ranger Suarez. Ranger Suarez has been amazing this year, and I love Ranger Suarez. But guys like Alvarado, Hector Neris, Archie Bradley, extremely important. Archie Bradley has been good lately. He needs to carry that into the second half and have a really good second half. Alvarado at times has been good. At times he's not been good at all, and that's kind of reflective in his 4.54 ERA. There's been times where he's literally unhittable because he can be with that 99 mile per hour sinker, 100 mile per hour fastball, disgusting slider. It's incredible. Hector Neris, there's been times where he's been good this year and times where he's really not been good this year. And he needs to be consistent. Those three guys have to be consistent. Maybe if you're Dombrowski, add one or two bullpen pieces that can help because besides that, you don't have much. Really, besides Ranger Suarez, everyone else has been not very good. Hopefully Connor Brogdon can find his footing. There's been times where he's been really bad, times where he's been good. So these guys I've named, they have to be good for this bullpen to have any success at all. And as far as the starting rotation goes, look, Aaron Nola hasn't been Aaron Nola. And I know Aaron Nola can be Aaron Nola. I don't know what it is. There's been times this year where he's been, it seems like this is just the repetitive theme, right? There's been times where he's been really good, and there's times where he hasn't been really good. And I think a part of it's his breaking ball. I feel like he just leaves his breaking ball up too much sometimes. And, not even too much. There's times where he pitches well for 5 innings, and then he gets lit up for like a 3-run bomb or like a, 1 inning where it's just all hell breaks loose. So Nola's been weird this year. He's been, consistency. Consistency is the name of the game. I need Nola to be, the Phillies would love to have 2018 Aaron Nola. I would take Aaron Nola what he was in the 2020 shortened season, finished top 10 Cy Young. I would take that Aaron Nola. I'll take that. I mean, really. And Zach Wheeler has been incredible. I'm not going to sit here and expect Zach Wheeler to be what he was in the first half in the second half, but that would be great if he was. But if Zach Wheeler can be very good in the second half, I'll take that. Another X factor, Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin, talked about him. If you watch my videos, talked about him many times in the past. Another big X factor. Finished with the 3.88 ERA going in the second half. It's okay. It's okay. He's been, he's been good at times, and there's been times where he hasn't. I mean, I keep saying this. I know it's repetitive. I'm sorry if I keep saying this, but it's literally the same thing with some of these players, some of these talking points. It's the same thing. Eflin's 5 of Eflin's last 6 starts, he's given up 3 runs or less. Need more of that. Need more of that. If he has one bad outing here and or there, like every 5 or 6 starts, he has like a not a great outing. Whatever. We're not going to expect Zach Eflin to be Jacob deGrom or Garrett Cole or anybody like that. I need Zach Eflin to find a groove where he's just consistently solid, because they need that out of their 3 starter. And more than a bullpen arm, I said that Dombrowski should go after a bullpen arm at the deadline. Starter is more important. I think the Phillies are top 10 in innings pitched from their starters. Girardi has kind of let guys go, specifically Nola, Wheeler, Eflin. He's let them go. It seems like he's let them go, not extremely deep in the games, but he'll let them go 6. That's kind of not what the norm has been in baseball as far as letting your starters go. But he's let them go. The 4th and 5th starters, it's been kind of a different story. Velasquez has been good at points, and there's been times where he hasn't been good. He hasn't been Vinny Velasquez that he's been in the past, or that he's been exactly what he's been for the past 5 or 6 years for the Phillies. And I just don't think you can expect that from Velasquez at this point, man. I mean, if this team roster was constructed it could be constructed any better, Vinny wouldn't be on the roster. Let's be real. Vince Velasquez would not be on this roster. But he is. And there's times where he's been good. But you're not expecting Velasquez to be... You just don't have expectations for Velasquez at this point. And Matt Moore has been crappy. Chase Anderson has been hurt and crappy. If I'm Dombrowski, if there's a way that you can somehow package a deal for a starter, for another good starter, then I'm doing that. But I'm not... it's really hard right now. I don't know what Dombrowski's thinking. I don't know what... we haven't heard much from Dombrowski. I don't know what he's going to do at the deadline. If it were me, I'm selling. But 44 and 44, if we're sitting here next week, if they're sitting here going a week into the deadline, and the Phillies are still hovering around 500, I think they're going to try and make a move. I don't know what move they're going to make. If it's me, I'm trying to go for a bullpen arm, one bullpen arm, and another starter. Try to get some depth there. That's your best bet. That is your best bet. I don't bank on the Nationals and the Braves making runs. I mean, look, unfortunately, I'm a big baseball fan. Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the premier young talents in the game, hurts his knee, ACL, done for the season and probably a little bit of the next season. Hope he gets back right. But the Braves, without him, I don't see them making a run. I know they just acquired Jock Peterson. Maybe they are going to try to make a run, but even if they do, I don't see it happening. Maybe Freddie Freeman gets hot and they make some sort of run, but I don't see it happening. The Nationals, I don't think the Nationals. To me, they're okay. Like that. Them and the Braves right now, they're okay teams. The Mets, I could see them pulling away a little bit. The Mets, obviously, they have Jacob deGrom. Taijuan Walker's been an all-star this year. They've been solid. But let Francisco Lindor get hot in the second half. Carlos Carrasco's supposed to come back soon. And Carrasco, if he's anything what he was last year or close to anything where he was in his prime of his career, which was really good, the Mets run away with this division. Do I think they get to 100 wins? No. But the way the division's been this year, that's all they'll need. That's all they'll need. Barring any injuries, and you don't wish injuries and health things on any team, no matter who it is. Doesn't matter if it's, for me, the Cowboys, the Mets, the Braves, the Penguins, the Celtics, anybody like that. I don't wish anything on anybody, but barring anything like that, just on paper right now, looking into the second half, trying to project what teams are going to do at the deadline, and maybe the Mets get Chris Bryant. So, because I don't think the Phillies have a shot at the wild card, man. You got to think NL West, the Padres, the Giants, or the Dodgers. Who knows how that division is going to shape up? You got to think two of the three of those teams are going to probably be locking up the wild card. So I don't think. I mean, if you're the Phillies, you got to try to win the division if you're trying to make the playoffs, which I think they're going to try to do. Unless the Phillies have some type of 10-game losing streak like the Cubs did, and they became sellers. Now, do I think that's going to happen? No, but anything can happen, right? If the Phillies go on some type of 10-game losing streak, I think they got to become sellers. You have to, no doubt. I still think they should be sellers. I think they should rebuild, all that. But getting a gauge right now, I think the Phillies are definitely going to try to make a run. Do I think it's the right choice? No, but I think the Phillies are going to try. So, looking ahead, man, got some more NBA stuff coming up, more MLB stuff as always. It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a fun rest of the summer. Looking ahead, I'm excited. You should be excited. Go follow me on Twitter at Rojas_media_ on Instagram at Rojas_media. Get at me.